of the vector character file creation. In here, you're going to be saving an image that you're going to be using for your vector character. We are going to be creating the file once again. We're going to be importing your one chosen image, and we're going to make sure that we embed it so that we don't need the file anymore. I've gone to Google Images here, and I found an artwork from a video game that I'm a huge fan of that I want to use. I'm going to now save this to my desktop. So over here in the artwork, not the thumbnails on the left, but the artwork on the right, I'm going to click with 2 fingers. This menu will come up right here, and I'm looking for Save Image As. Another window will pop up in the center of your screen. Make sure that where it says Where, that it's going to desktop. If not, click the blue drop-down arrow and choose desktop. You'll see it under your favorites option.
I'm going to rename it stock photo just to keep things nice and organized, and then I'm going to hit save.
Go up to the top left of your browser, whatever, if it was Safari or Chrome, and hit the yellow minimize dot, and hopefully in the top right of your desktop you will find your file. If your file is a WEBP file, it's going to run into an error when we try to import it. I would recommend looking for a different photo or calling me over. I do have a workaround, but it's a couple extra steps. I'll do it for you. Now go ahead and open up Illustrator and let's set the file up. Ignore or leave your stock photo alone for a little bit.
Once we're in Illustrator, I want you to go over to the left side where it says Create New and hit that button.
In here, I only want you to worry about the preset details. Where it says Untitled, let's delete that, and we're going to rename it your first name, your last name, and the words Vector, V-E-C-T-O-R, Character. Make sure that your file is in inches right here. Click the drop-down arrow if it's in points or pixels and choose inches. The width and the height, the width should be 18 inches and the height should be 12. The orientation should be the long format or wide format. If your photo is tall, like really tall, you can ask me first and we can flop this over to the tall one and you'll see that your 2 numbers will switch. However, for display reasons, we run into issues with displaying yours in the hallway and the art show, etc. if it's too tall. So I'd rather everybody try to fit theirs into a wide format first. All right, color mode, make sure that it is CMYK, raster effects are high, preview mode default, and then hit the blue create button down in the bottom. You'll end up with a white rectangle. Follow my mouse cursor for this next step. Here it is in the center of my screen. I'm going to move it all the way over to the right, and you'll see that my arrow changes to a left arrow. You can click and drag Illustrator a little bit and swipe it to the left, and then you'll be able to see a little bit of your desktop. Our photo should have saved to the upper right portion of our desktop. There it is. What we're going to do to get this into the file is literally click and drag it and let go over the white rectangle, like the big empty space of your file. Ready? Click, drag, and let go. And you'll see that it imports. You might have to click Illustrator and just kind of like reset things for a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and hit the green dot in the top right of Illustrator to maximize the Illustrator window. I'm going to hold Command and hit minus about 3 times because I really want to get a wide zoomed out view of my artwork. I'm going to take the selection tool, which is your top left black arrow right here where I'm kind of pointing around, and I'm going to select the image. If you see my cursor right now, I'm hovering over the top left corner pocket. You'll see that my icon changes to a diagonal arrow. This indicates that I can resize the image. However, you'll see that when I resize the image, it can get pretty wonky. You want to hold down the Shift key, S-H-I-F-T, next to Z. And then when you resize, you'll see that it keeps it in like good scale. You want to let go of Shift, by the way, when you move it around. But I'm going to hold Shift and just try to allocate this as best as I can. There will be some clipping. Let me zoom in a little bit here. If you look closely, the black lines that are right here, that is the edge of my artwork. Anything outside of that, I'll see, but it will not print. I'm pretty happy with that result, though, of what got omitted. Do not worry. Everything of everybody's photo, it's very unlikely that anybody found an exact 18 by 12 photo. All right, now that your photo's in here, sized up, we gotta embed it and change some layer settings. Make sure that your photo is selected. You can tell it's selected because of the blue box that's around it. If you go up to the top of the screen, you're gonna see all these options right here. I want you to click this one that says Embed. You will notice there is down here in Quick Actions, you will also see Embed, but either one will work. What that does is now you no longer need the source file anymore, so we can actually delete that. We'll do it later in a little bit. I'm going to get one last thing set up with you guys. After the photo is embedded, we want to open up layers. If you look right here where my mouse cursor is, you're going to see an icon that I think looks like 2 slices of cheese. Go ahead and click that and you'll see that your layer window pops open. We only have one layer right now, and it's called layer 1. If you double click on the text itself, you'll be able to see that you can rename it. I'm going to call it stock photo, S-T-O-C-K space P-H-O-T-O, and I'll just click off. That's exactly what this photo is. It's just for us to trace. It'll be deleted before we print the project. Right to the right of the text, you're going to see a little bit of an empty area. This opens up layer options if you double click it. So click really fast twice, click, and you're going to see layer options open up. Here you could rename it as well. You could change the layer color from blue. If you see like we have a blue box right now, you can pick any color you want in this drop down arrow. I'm going to leave it blue for right now. Two other things that we want to do. Dim images to. You want to click that. You'll see after we hit OK that it'll dim it. This will help us trace easier. And then you also want to lock it. If you do any work on your stock photo, it'll get deleted at the end of the project. You'll be wasting a lot of time. So by locking it, it won't let you work on it. Then go ahead and click OK. You should see a slightly dimmer image, and your layer should have a little lock icon right there. All right, now that we're done that, we're going to go up here and we're going to save it to the cloud. So go to File and then Save As right here. When you hit Save As, I hope this window popped up for you. If not, you'll have to call me over after this demo. You're looking for Save to Cloud Documents on the left, and then your name should already be set, and you can just hit the blue button in the top. In the next video, we're going to be remastering and going over the brush tool and how to create your outline. Until then, take care.